everyone, my name is Tay. If you know me, welcome to my birth vlog. And if you don't, I would say like welcome to my channel, but I don't know if I'm gonna post anything else because I'm so inconsistent with posting anything here. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started because it's going to be a lot of material that I'm trying to shove into a very short amount of time. Yes, I gave birth on January 29th at 10:45 a.m. to a beautiful baby boy. I was in labor for 31 hours and it truly was unmedicated, natural birth. I watched a lot of like birth vlogs while I was preparing for pregnancy, even while I was pregnant, and they said unmedicated and there was medicine, which no problem, but if you're looking for a truly unmedicated natural birth vlog, this is going to be it for you. So I'm going to walk you through some of the parts that don't have clips through me like explaining it here, and then but most of it is like an actual video from the day. So let's just jump into what happened. So I'm going to be looking at my notes while I'm recording this, but the first thing, so I was kind of feeling crampy a couple days before my water actually broke, and so what you're gonna see is like me the day before my water broke talking to the camera, because like I started to like record things just like around the house and stuff, because I was like, I kind of feel like this is about to be it, even though I was only 36 weeks, but I had had contractions every night all night long starting at 35 weeks. So my water actually broke when I was 37 weeks pregnant. The clips you're getting ready to see is right before, the day before my water broke, where I had no clue my water was getting ready to break the next day, and then when my water actually broke. Okay, hi. So I'm back from the other day, and I'm here to do a little update. So I am 36 weeks and 6 days pregnant, so tomorrow I'll be 37 weeks. I did end up getting checked, and I was right. His head is really low. I forgot to ask what station he was in, but his head is really low, which is why I'm experiencing so much pressure. I'm now consistently getting up 3 times during the night. I can't just get up like that once or twice. It's definitely 3 times. My maternity leave starts tomorrow, so I'm really happy that I made it to that point, which was my goal. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, when she checked me, I was between 1 and 2 centimeters dilated and 40% effaced, which she was happy and surprised about because I'm a first-time mom. But my doula told me that you thin faster than you dilate when it's your first baby anyways. But again, that doesn't mean anything to me because it doesn't tell me when the baby's coming or anything like that. It just means that things are happening, which is what I wanted to confirm. This is a shot of my belly. It is Friday.
Bro, you look like you're in a fucking sci.
It is Friday, January 28th. And at like 2:30-ish a.m., my water broke. I didn't know. It was my water. I just felt a huge gush and I woke Larry up. It was like, oh no. And so I'm really scared now because today makes 37 weeks, so he's full term. But yeah, it's just scary when it's time to actually do it. But I'm not having any contractions. Or maybe I am. I don't know. I think it's just a whole bunch of adrenaline pumping right now. So we're gonna chill out here for a little while until things pick up. And then we'll head to the hospital to have this baby, I guess. Yeah, I keep trying to figure out if I feel something, but I just kind of feel like I'm on my period. But it's not like a contraction fully. I don't know. My doula told me to try to go to sleep and drink something. And I can feel babies in position. Here's my belly. All right, y'all. It is, hold on, let me see what time it is. Oh, 5:54 now. And so my contractions were 20 minutes apart, and they were like super slight, like not even enough to really say period pain, more like period discomfort. While they were 20 minutes apart, then they sped up to about 10 minutes apart, but they're like not exactly 10 minutes. Like sometimes they're 12, sometimes they're like 9. But it's still super slight, like it's not really intense. So my doula told me to still rest, but I'm not really able to sit still at all. So I took a shower because I felt really icky from my water breaking, and I still have to wear this diaper because it's still kind of breaking or leaking. It's leaking a lot. Larry's packing his bag, and then we're going to do the things around the house we need to do before it's time to go to any hospital, like get the dogs together and stuff. So I guess I'll be back maybe once we get to the hospital or sometime later. Okay, so then the next thing that happened, as you can see, is like we're doing things around the house because my water broke at 2:30 a.m. and I was having those contractions, like I said in the video, but things just like weren't picking up. And I was texting my doula the whole time, kind of like, hey, this is what's happening, nothing's really, you know, moving along. Because my original plan was not to go to the hospital until I was approximately about 7 centimeters dilated. So the hope was that I was going to do most of my laboring at the house, like just get the support there. Like the doula was going to meet me at the house and then go. But the only reason, why we ended up going earlier was because I started spotting. So at home, I did those like circuit things on YouTube. I did a lot of karaoke because I wanted to karaoke through all the pain. So I did like sing some songs while like bouncing on the ball. And I don't remember feeling contractions, but I do remember just feeling kind of super crampy. And that's why I went to the bathroom and saw that I was spotting. And the goal, well, the deal was always, if I start spotting while at home, then you need to go to the hospital because it's possible that I'm dilating faster than I thought. And so that's why we ended up going to the hospital. And that was around 10:30 in the morning on Friday. So the 28th around 10:30.
This is the American Independence flag on the back of the couch. That's ass.
This is going to help to relieve some pressure whenever you start to feel those
Just about that.
pregnant.
Show me the stretches.
Luckily, now before I jump on to the yoga ball, I just want to mention this is a video in a series of videos that I've.
So y'all, it is time to go to the hospital, and I'm doing just some concealer. I'm gonna fill in my brows because I'm having contractions. They're stronger, but really I'm going because I'm spotting now. And so, yeah, just want to look somewhat decent. So uncomfortable. Like they hurt, but
You got it, honey.
it feels like it's so long.
The contractions long?
Yeah, release already. Golly.
I'm sure it's.
Okay, so next when we get to the hospital, they only allow for me to have, you know, like my support person, so my husband, and then my doula with me, which was fine. That worked out fine. But when we first got there, I had to go through triage alone, and then my husband could join me. And so, long story short, what happened when we got to triage is, of course, they had to check me before they could admit me. And this was the disheartening part. So that Monday when I went to my doctor's appointment, I felt so much pressure, and it was like he was so low that I just knew like this cannot be real for me to only be 36 weeks. And so when they checked me, she told me that I was 1 centimeter dilated, 40% effaced, and that was at 36 plus 4. So when I got to the hospital after my water had broke at 2:30 that morning and everything, I was only 1 centimeter dilated and 70% effaced. So, oh, and then his head was, I want to say it, I don't remember if they actually told me the station or not, but yeah, I can't remember that part. But anywho, we had to make progress, and my water had broke. And so at this point, water broke at 2:30 a.m. We're in triage at 10:30, 11, no, 11ish, because it's a 30-minute ride to the hospital. And I was only 1 centimeter dilated. And so I was very disheartened, and my mood really dropped. And at this point, they started talking to me about C-sections. Basically, they were trying to say that, you know, you open yourself up for the risk of infection. I was strep B positive, but I had already started penicillin while I was there. And they were just saying that, like, because of how long my water has broke, the longer I've been exposed to infection. Okay, well, I mean, you're at a risk of gaining an infection too if, you know, you're consistently getting cervical checks and stuff like that, which I had declined because I wanted minimal to no interventions at all. So I only consented to get checked while I was there, and I was still confident in my birth plan moving forward so that I didn't have to adapt to whatever they were saying because I knew that I could do it.
Understand why we just freely take things from room fetch.
What's that in your arm right there? Is that blood in your IV? Is that...
Yeah. Drop it down, and low. Drop it down,
Drop down and take it back. Hey, how Larry holding up?
He right here.
I'm just recording.
Ow! I can't get back up.
Just being the cameraman. What's going on, y'all? Oh, we're good. We're good to go.
Keep it up, it's gonna be gone.
I have a hand one, just in case she changes her mind.
Okay, good. And you could always pictures, you know? Mm-hmm. The good thing about it is you can hit delete on the pictures if you don't.
Well, she's seen a live birth. I think she's good.
It's only a little different coming out of your own vagina.
Yeah, it's a little
You
more.
critique your vagina.
Exactly, right.
I want to
you a-
pretend like it didn't happen.
Are you a shake? This will hold you. I've never seen it fall. It just feels a little shaky, but it's big. Yeah, and just really lean into it and do whatever you want. You can drop it low in goddess pose if you need to and have something to lean on. Whatever you'd like.
A little longer. You'll get stronger. And I'll hang out for a little while.
Literally, like he's talking that MTV Cribs documentary.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's what it's gonna look like.
Move to Hollywood. The body just knows how to adapt.
Okay. So, question. Is my body right now? Okay, y'all. So it's I'm in labor. I got boops.
I'd say I hope you get a contraction.
My contractions are coming in very strong. I cannot talk, but I'm gonna get off before a contraction comes. What time is it? It's okay. It's 9:40. It's 9:48. We've been doing nipple stimulation. That's really been helping get things going. So we're gonna keep going. Okay, so from 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. we didn't get a lot of footage. Basically what happened at this time, I got checked again at midnight. So I got checked when I got there at like that afternoonish, and I was only 1 centimeter dilated, 70% effaced. At midnight, I opted to get checked again. I was only 3 centimeters and 90% effaced. And you know, for first time moms, you thin faster than you dilate. Well, you thin before you dilate. So, okay, cool, I'm taking it, it's progress. They're still bringing up the C word, still talking about introducing Pitocin. Well, I forgot to mention that earlier. So every time that my provider would come in at that time, she would mention, I can start Pitocin and really get things going. Pitocin was completely out for me, as well as an epidural, because the epidural contained fentanyl. The only pain medication they would offer me was fentanyl. I don't like consenting to the potential side effects of either or, so that was out. And then the Pitocin was also out for me because Pitocin is just synthetic oxytocin, and I know the risk that can, you know, increase with postpartum depression, just with me being a therapist and all. So that was out for me too. Regardless, I wasn't doing any of those interventions because I was not going to, you know, start the whole like, okay, this could potentially be a thing. I introduced this and then it rolled into me having to have a C-section because I got here at 11 and I was talking about a C-section. So no, throwing it out the window. Anywho, okay, back on topic. So at 12 p.m., I was 3 centimeters dilated, 90% effaced. Still feeling kind of defeated because I'm like, whoo, this is moving really slow. I labored by listening to like my Afrobeats music. I did a lot of like laying on from side to side using the peanut ball. Again, like his less invasive ways to like continue to get things going. That's Kendall, y'all. And so I think after 12 p.m., yeah, I didn't get checked again until 6 a.m. the next morning.
It's all right now. Try to stay in it, sway back and forth.
Pressure, please.
Yes.
Oh, my hips.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do it together. You rock.
Oh.
Last check I remember is 12.
It's 4 a.m. I'm still in labor. I have contemplated every way to get out. There is none. It hurts really bad and it makes me cry. But I don't really feel like I'm dying. But it hurts. Yeah. Okay, that's all. Okay, so the good thing is about, because I, you know, had no interventions, I could eat throughout my whole labor. So I would eat lemon ices, my doula brought granola bars, I had some chips, stuff like that. So I was feeling like physically pretty good, but around that 6 a.m. mark when they came in and checked me, I felt different. I felt not like exhausted, but like mentally exhausted, because again, like my birth plan was like to do most of this at home. I'm now in the hospital. Okay, cool, fine. I had an IV for my strep B and they kept giving me multiple bags of penicillin, and I had asked them a bunch of times, like, can I please have a break? Can I please have a break? Like, it was like my arm was hurting because I had went through so many bags, because they have to rotate it every 4 hours while you're in labor, and I was there for forever. And so then, also I had to keep the monitors on me. I wanted Bluetooth monitoring, but all the beds were full, so they didn't even have any more Bluetooth monitors available. So that was, I think I was just getting like touched out and just exhausted. Like I was just starting to wear down. So at the 6 o'clock hour, oh no, sorry, it wasn't 6 o'clock. It was a little bit earlier before that, because we had the shift change at 7. Somewhere around that time, between like 4 and 6 a.m., I consented to get checked one more time. Yes. And when I did that, they said that I was only 5 centimeters dilated and still, but I had completely thinned out. So it was like, yeah, I'm thinned out, but like 5 centimeters. I had been here from 10:30 a.m. one morning all the way to the next. So we were approaching the 24-hour mark of being in the hospital, not even like saying the contractions and stuff I was having at the house. So I think my doula, my husband, and me were all on the same page of like, I don't know how much longer this is going to be. Because things were progressing. They were just slow. Again, Pitocin was offered. I declined. And so at this point, there is little to no footage because I just needed to get myself together. And so at this point, I'm really not talking to anybody. I wasn't on my phone. I didn't call like my best friends. I didn't FaceTime my parents anymore. Like, I just needed to be one with my uterus. Right before, you know, I actually had the baby, when I'm feeling defeated, it was around, let's see, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. No one in the room knew, but I had made up in my head, I'm getting an epidural. That's it. I'm getting an epidural. So I went to the shower, because at 7 o'clock, the new providers came in. Like, you know, the hospital staff switched shifts. So they, I went in the shower. I'm there, and I'm waiting for my provider to come in because I told my nurse to bring my midwife in. So I'm in the shower, and I'm laboring, and every contraction that I have, I'm moving the shower head away from me. It hurts it just hurts to breathe, to live, to exist. So my doula comes into the bathroom. She's like, how you doing? I don't say a word. She leaves out. And at this point, my doula was talking outside the room, and she was telling people that, like, I think it's time. So again, this is at like 9:30ish. So my husband comes in, and he's like, the provider is here. And I just shut the shower curtain in his face because I didn't want to see anybody. I was tired of talking. I was tired. So the provider comes in, and she's like, good morning, Miss Neal. Let's get you out the shower so we can check you. I said, how long does it take to get an epidural? She said, it takes about 30 minutes. I said, okay, go get the guy. Because I wasn't coming out the shower until the guy was ready to stick me in my back. I had literally sat in the shower, and I told myself, what do you need to get through this moment? And I said, I need to feel nothing. And so I had to I had made up my mind. I was getting the epidural. I had been in the hospital for over 24 hours. At this point, I had been in labor for 30 hours. I couldn't, I guess didn't know how long it was going to go. Because think about it. I went from 1 centimeter to 3 to 5. And it was just moving so slow. And my doula had always taught me that when you're in transition, that stage right before you're getting ready to give birth, that is the time when you want to give up the most. So, but that wasn't registering at the time. I just wanted my epidural. So I got out the shower. Well, I stood up. And as soon as I stood up, my whole body just started pushing. And I got so scared, and I screamed. And I was like, he's coming, he's coming, he's coming. And so my husband ran in, and he grabbed me. And the provider was like, okay, call it in. So next thing I know, tables are flying in there. Like, everything's flying in there to prepare for, like, the baby to come. And I still wasn't registering that it was actually time. I was just like, my body's pushing him out, like, everything's giving up, like, this is the end. So I get on the bed, and she checks me. I don't remember getting actually checked. I just remember she's saying, like, yep, this is it. How do you want to deliver? So my hospital gave me the option to not deliver on my back. Thank you, Jesus. So I was pushing in multiple positions. I don't think that was unique about my pushing part of labor was that it was long because my uterus was tired. And so I didn't know this until my midwife and my doula had recapped with me. My contractions during pushing were like 2 to 5 minutes apart, which is unusual because usually at that time your body is like ready to push baby out. But the reason why it was taking me so long was they said my uterus was just tired. And child, it was, because I was tired. And so when they were like trying to, when I was trying to push, they were saying like, come on, push, push. I was like, I don't feel anything. Like, I don't feel anything. Like, there's no contraction happening for me to push on.
Go there with it. Beautiful. It burns and that's normal. You're doing so good. Stay with it. Breathe. Stick out.
Your ear's kind of big for your baby head.
Waiting on us, you would.
Show some tugging.
Let me feel, Mom.
Ow.
Sorry.
So I look crazy because that was the hardest 31 hours of my life, but my baby's here. All right, y'all. So, I mean, that's what happened. I was pushing through this contraction. Oh, I finally had that 3P push through. Baby came. The midwife ended up catching him because it happened so fast. Then handed him to my husband, who then handed him to me after I had turned over. And I got stitched because I tore. I'll spare you the details on that. Yeah, I got stitched. We went to Mother Baby, where we stayed and we recovered. And baby was 5 pounds, 9.8 ounces. He was born at 10:45 a.m. and it was so perfect. Despite everything, even though my labor was so long, I'm so happy that I did it the way how I wanted to. Immediately after pushing, I felt fine. You probably see that in the clips, like I'm smiling, I'm talking, you know, everything's fine. I felt great. I was really happy I went with that option. The only thing that did happen that wasn't a part of my birth plan is I hemorrhaged. Well, I was bleeding a lot. And they had told me before, do you consent to receive Pitocin if we needed to save your life? And I was like, save my life? Like how? But they said that at that time I had like lost 600 milliliters of blood and they needed to stop my bleeding. And I didn't have time to really come up with a creative intervention that wasn't Pitocin. So they ended up having to give me a shot in my leg to stop the bleeding. And that was partially because of how I tore, of why I had so much hemorrhaging. But luckily they caught it in time. And afterwards I had some like weird things with my own blood and like trying to regulate that. But other than that, that was fine. And I had already given birth. He had already latched. All that had already happened when they gave me the shot because it took them an hour to stitch me. So, but besides that, everything was great. And so, yeah, that is the story of the birth of my son. I hope that you all liked it, and if you did, please, you know, feel free to drop a comment. I'll be like talking in the comments with folks because I know a lot of folks had a lot of questions about just birth in general, and I had spent so much time studying for this moment. So, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.